Good morning students. Let us recall the yesterday's class. So yesterday we have discussed about the conductance of electrolytic solutions. So generally these are divided into two types, that is electronic conductors and electrolytic conductors. Electronics means was the current will flow through the electrons. Here the current will flow through the ions. So here electrons will move from positive end to negative end, and here charges species means what? Ions move oppositely charged electrodes. So here we have seen the example Zn plus to Cu plus to NaCl if we have taken. So it will charge in the place of Zn plus to Cl minus will be getting, in the place of Cu we will be getting Na plus. So here no chemical change takes place, here chemical reaction takes place. Okay. Generally electronic conductors depends upon the nature of the metal and its structure. So what are the metal we are taking and how it is its structure, it will depends. And also number of valence electron per atom of the metal means what? Per each atom it will be having electrons. So how many outermost electrons is there? It also depends upon the valence electron per atom and temperature. Coming to here electronic conductors, the electrical conductance means what? Here the flow of electricity through the substance. So means what? Here whenever temperature increases, automatically it decreases the electrical conductance. So these are the three factors the electronic conductors depends. So we will be taking some of the materials, that is conductors, insulators, semiconductors. Conductors are good conductors of electricity. Why? Because they are metals which can conduct electricity. And coming to here insulators, glass, ceramics means glass items, window glass like that if we have taken, and ceramics means pingani, cups, those all will come, plates, those all will come under the ceramics. So these will not show any current, those type of things we call it as insulators. Coming to semiconductors, what? It will show current which are intermediate between insulators and conductors, which is having resistance up to 1 to 10 to the power 6 ohm centimeter. That one we call it as semiconductors. Semiconductors are most important, mainly used in the electronic industry. Coming to superconductors means what? Here which is having zero resistance, which is not having any resistance power, that one we call it as superconductors. Example we can take ceramic items will show conductors nearly 0 to 15 Kelvin it will be showing. So these are the things it should be observed in the electronic conductors. Coming to electrolytic conductors, what? Which will does not produce current whether if we heat the compound or in the solution. That one we call it as non-electrolytes. These are electrolytic means what? Which will produce current in the solution. So this will not produce in the solution, and also molten, that one non-electrolytes. Here example we will be taking sugar, urea, glucose. These will not produce electrolytic conductors. Why? Because these are non-polar compounds. So this electrolytic conductors depends upon the certain factors, that is nature of the electrolyte means it will depend upon strong electrolyte and weak electrolyte. Strong electrolyte means what? It is completely ionized, means more ions it is producing. Coming to weak electrolyte, incompletely means it will be less ions it is having. For strong electrolytes the examples will be NaOH, HCl, NaCl. And coming to weak electrolytes, CH3COOH, NH4OH. These are weak electrolytes. And also depends upon the size of the ion, solvation. Whenever size of the ion and solvation increases, automatically the conductance decreases. Why? Because the migration of ions, the moving of ions, for example Na plus you have taken, the Cl minus is replaced by H2O. So what happens? The solvent molecules are observing. So means what? Here size is increasing. So automatically what happens? The current is decreasing. In the same way here also water is increasing, solvation is not some solvent we are adding, that is water. So in the place of Cl minus to the Na plus. So here what happening? The ions are moving. So automatically what happens? The current is reducing. Means what? Solvation increases, size of the ion increases, the conductance decreases due to the migration of ions. And nature of this solvent and viscosity. Viscosity means what? Which can easy means viscosity means some poisonous nature. So here what happens, whenever it increases, automatically here also conductance decreases due to the presence of the ions. Coming to concentration of electrolytes and temperature. So here mainly depends upon intermolecular attractions. So intermolecular attractions means what? Whenever the concentration is increasing, here conductance decreases. Here temperature increases, conductance increases. Why? Because there will be more intermolecular attractions between these conditions. So this is about the electrolytic conductance. Now let us go to the resistance and conductance. What I'm saying, conductance, resistance. What do you mean by resistance and what do you mean by conductance? Resistance means what? It is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to area of cross section. We call it as resistance. Directly proportional to length, inversely proportional to area of cross section. So R is proportional to L by A. So where R is equals to rho into L by A. So what do you mean by rho? Rho is nothing but resistivity, we can say, or specific resistance. Okay. So then R is calculated in Ohm. According to Ohm's law, what is the definition? The potential difference across conductor is directly proportional to current flowing through it. Means what? Is directly proportional to I here. Okay. Directly proportional to I. So what about whenever E is directly proportional to I, what happens here? E is equals to Ri, where R is nothing but here resistance. Okay, so this is about the Ohm's law. Now coming to, if we have taken length 1 meter square or 1 centimeter, A equals to 1 meter square or 1 centimeter square, you will be getting R is equals to rho. So means what we can say, 1 meter and 1 meter square, we can say meter cube or centimeter cube. Volume we can calculate here. Now coming to conductance. The reciprocal of the resistance, we call it as conductance. Okay. So reciprocal of the resistance means 1 by R, we call it as reciprocal of the resistance. We call it as what? Conductance. So what do you mean by R? R is equals to rho into L by M. So 1 by rho into A by L, or we can write L by M. So C is equals to K into A by L. That one can be written as what here? K equals to C into L by L. So where K is known as specific conductance or conductivity. What do you mean by specific conductance here? The conductance of electrolyte of the solution. Means electrolyte of the solution of volume of 1 meter cube, or we can say 1 centimeter cube. We can say what? Specific conductance means the color. If we have taken electrolyte of the solution, so the volume will be what here? Thus in a solution, what happened? For example, NaCl I have taken. So that is the electrolyte solution. So means it is having some conductance. So means here we have discussed about if we have taken 1 meter square. So when we combine this, automatically what happens? It can be volume of 1 meter cube or 1 centimeter cube. So that one we call it as what? Specific conductance or conductivity. Here C is known as conductance. K is nothing but specific conductance. So why I have told volume of meter means here length we are taking 1 meter, here this is taking 1 meter square. So meter square, volume of the solution you will be getting. Where L by A is nothing but cell constant. So means what happening? The conductivity of ionic solutions or electrolytic solutions. So here depends upon. So now I have told you in the before electronic solutions and also electrolytic solutions. Now coming to electronic solutions, the material what we have been taking here and specific conductance, the relation between conductors and specific conductors. So for example, if we have taken conductors, the specific conductance is giving the value this one, and if we are taking insulators, it is getting the value this one, and if we are taking aqueous solutions, is nothing but water, pure water and salts. If we are taking, this is the specific conductance, and if you are taking semiconductors, this is the value. Means this is the relation between the electronic conductors and specific conductors. Now generally conductance of ionic solutions means the specific conductivity of ionic solutions can be measured. Okay, so we have to measure the specific conductance of the solutions. Then how we have to calculate that one? So coming to here, we know that measurement of resistance. So here we have to calculate the resistance. So to measure the resistance of a metallic wire, we can easily calculate with Wheatstone bridge. Means what here? Measurement of resistance of a metallic wire. Measurement of resistance of a metallic wire can be measured with a Wheatstone bridge. Okay, as we know. But there will be some conditions. Suppose if we are keeping, however, we will be measuring in the resistance of Wheatstone bridge. But when we measure resistance of electrolytic solution, we face two problems. Firstly, passing direct current through a solution, and secondly, what happens? They connected to a measuring bridge like metallic wire. So let us take here diagram. Which is containing solution with a tube. Okay, so now this is so this is a solution we are taking here in a tube. So these two we call it as platinum electrodes. So these are connecting wires. Like this, we will be taking two types of instruments. These also connecting two types of wires. Okay, these two are the PT electrodes. These two are the connecting wires. So now let us see what happens. Generally I have taken solution. So whenever I have taken solution, automatically I have kept platinum electrodes. So when connecting wires, automatically what should happen? It should produce current. Yes or no? So whenever in to measure the resistance of an electrolytic solutions, we are having two problems. For measuring resistance of an electrolytic solution, we face two problems. Means if here what we are doing, we are directly connecting wires, so direct current it is producing, so that's why we are facing two problems. What is the two problems we are facing here? Firstly, the first problem, coming to here, the firstly we are facing when we are passing direct current through the solution. So when we are passing direct current to the solution, first what we are doing, when we are passing direct current through the solution, it changes the composition of solution due to electrolysis. Means what? It is changing the values. So what happens? Changes the composition of the solution due to electrolysis. And coming to second problem, what is the second problem? A solution cannot be connected to the measuring bridge like a metallic wire or other solid conductors. Means what here? When we are measuring the current, so a solution cannot be connected to the measuring bridge like a metallic wire or other solid conductor. Okay, so what are the problems we are facing in these two here? When we pass direct current to the connecting wires, automatically what happens? The solution change. Whenever the current is producing, automatically what happening? The solution of composition is changing. Means the concentration is changing here. Molar concentrations. Coming to here, in the second one, a solution cannot be connected to means here what happens? These wires are not connecting to the solution. So why? To the measuring bridge like a metallic wire or solid conductor. So whenever we are, as we have told in the starting, the resistance can be measured with a Wheatstone bridge. When we connect this wire to Wheatstone bridge, automatically what happening? The solution is not connected to these two wires. So because of these reasons only we are facing two problems. Then how to overcome? So to overcome this one, the first difficulty can be resolved. Means it can be purified by using a alternating current. Which one we call AC. Means the first problem, what we are facing, the first problem can be solved by using alternating current. In place of direct current we can use it. Then what about second problem? Second problem we can solve by using a specially designed vessel which is known as conductivity cell. Conductivity cell. So it is available in many designs, in several designs in the market. Okay, so the first problem, what happens when we are passing direct current? It is due to current what happening? It is not producing any current. Okay, it is changing the solution of the composition. So how to rectify this problem? To rectify this problem, we are putting alternating current, that is AC. And coming to here, what happens? Coming to second condition, the wires, platinum wires is not touching the solution. This is the second problem. So then how to rectify this problem? This is rectified by using a specially designed vessel. We call it as conductivity cell. So this cell should be used for this. Okay, so this is about. So if you take this one, so whenever here Generally, basically the cell consists of two platinum electrodes coated with platinum black, so which is provided metallic platinum deposited on the electrodes. Okay, so which is dissolved in the metallic platinum electrodes. These electrodes have area of cross section A. What happens, generally these electrodes consist of what? Two platinum electrodes. So what happens, coated with platinum black divided with PT, and which is deposited on the electrodes electrochemically. So these have area of cross section, that is R is equals to length, and also length of the distance, means distance we have to calculate, and also area of the cross section, which is separated by distance L. So solution confined between these two electrodes means what happens is equals to the column of the electrolyte, means the length is the solution. What it says, it confirms that between these two electrodes the column of the electrolyte of area and length is equal. So by this we can write as equation as R is equals to rho L by A. So how much quantity we are taking, that one L by A, we call it as what here? This is cell constant, which is denoted by symbol G star, means the quantity of the electrolyte L by A. So it depends upon the what? The distance between the electrodes and also area of cross section. So what happening, we are taking this solution, two platinum electrodes. So what happens, this area and these two electrodes whatever taking, this is equal, we are saying. The column of the electrolytic length L and area of cross section we are saying equal. So this L by A, which is measured with resistance R, is equals to, as we know, rho into L by A. So where G star equals to L by A, cell constant, this G star depends upon the what? Here it depends upon the distance between the electrodes. Distance between the electrodes means length, and area of cross section means what here? This is G star. Okay, so by this what we can write, this 1 by rho can be written as here rho. So this rho can be written as L by Ka, where Ka indicates what here? K is nothing but specific conductance. So we can write Rk is equals to L by A. K is specific conductance, or we can say K kappa in Greek words. So for this we can write L by A means what here? Rk. So simply we can write G star is equals to Rk. So from cell constant we can easily measure what here? We can easily measure specific conductance and also resistance. Okay, the cell constant for the various values, it is given concentration per molarity. So here we can determine molar conductance and also specific conductance here. Okay, so now let us see. Once the cell constant is determined, so by knowing the values of length and area, so automatically what we can say, G star is determined. So once cell constant is determined, so we can use it for measuring the resistance. Yes or no? So by knowing the cell constant value and specific constant conductivity value, so automatically what we can measure, R is equals to G star by K. So we can measure the resistance. Okay, so now we are taking resistance. So this is R2. We don't know the resistance of R2. This is R4. This is R3. And this is R1. which is connected to a alternating current here. Here we are keeping headphones. Okay, so here this is the conductivity cell. So what I have told you from this, so we will be determining resistance. From this resistance, L constant we know. After knowing this L constant, what we should have to do to measure the resistance, means we can easily determine the resistance of the conductivity of any solution. So it consists of two resistance R3 and R4 and a variable resistance R1. So this one we call it as variable resistance. So these two resistance we call it as what here? Two types of resistance. Okay, and the conductivity cell having the solution, so which is known as unknown solution. Conductivity cell containing electrolyte. So simple example I am saying, you take 4 different types of bulbs. Okay, in the middle one bulb. So it consists of 60 volts, it consists of 40 volts, it consists of some 30 volts. So automatically what happens here? So whenever it is producing, so when you change this position, means if it is in balanced condition, the R2 and R3. So this is an unbalanced condition if you have observed. So if suppose R1, R2, here R3 and R4 it should have. So whenever if you exchange these positions, means R4 and R3. So R1, R2, R3, R4, if it is having like this. So automatically what happens here? It will not produce, R2, R3 will not produce current. It will produce current. Means these all are in balanced condition. In unbalanced conditions, what happens? If we exchange these positions, it will produce current. So here we have kept alternating current. Here we kept headphones. Why we have kept headphones? Because to know the current, how it is producing, what is the frequency range. So to know the frequency range, this one power in the nearly 550 to 5000 cycles per second. So this is the frequency range to know the resistances of this when we are producing alternating current, where P is a null point here, okay, which is headphone or electronic device. So a bridge is balanced when no current passes through the detector. So when current is passing automatically, this is a so this is P, which is indicated by, means to know the frequency range 550 to 5000 we are keeping. So here, which is in balanced condition, automatically it will not produce current. So these all are not in balanced condition. These all are in unbalanced condition. If suppose R3 and R4 is here, in place of R4 we write R3 and R4, automatically what happens? It will not produce current. So this 2 is in which condition? This is in unbalanced condition. In unbalanced condition only it is producing some resistance. Okay, so here to the R1 what I did means, to this R1 I have connected platinum electrodes, which is connected to a solution as we have taken in the tube. These wires are connected, yes or no? So this electrode, in the first case what we have to do, we have to connect to the alternating current. So for this alternating current what I have did, I have connected variable resistance, that is R1. So whenever I am connecting, automatically what happens? Here the current is producing. So that's why we can say by this measuring meters. So whenever we are placing resistance, different types of resistance, that one unknown resistance, to find the unknown resistance, R2 is equals to, here you will be getting R1 R4 by R3. So which is in parallel condition, you will be getting R2 by R4 and is equals to R1 by R3. So to know the unknown resistance, we don't know about this resistance. We will be knowing only these three resistance. So by this we will be getting R2 is equals to R1 R4 by R3. So this is about Wheatstone bridge experiment. So by this what happens, we can easily calculate the conductivity. So these days what happens, this conductivity are very expensive, so which can be available in markets. So directly we can read the conductance or also resistance of the solution in the conductivity cell. So once the cell constant and the resistance of the solution in the cell are determined, so automatically what happens, we will be knowing the specific conductance. Means what, K is equals to G star by R. Okay, so we don't know, as we have known up to now, what we don't know, the resistance and also specific conductance. Only cell constant we know. So once cell constant is known, automatically what happens, the resistance can be known. So from the cell constants we can easily determine the resistance, means from the conductivity cell. So after that, as we know the resistance and also specific cell constant, we can easily determine the what? Here specific conductance. So only up to now we have taken only one solution here. If suppose we are taking different electrolytic solutions, conductivity of solution, so how we have to measure? So at a same solvent and at a given temperature, so there will be some change of the charge and also size of the ions which they break into ions. So whenever the conductance of all ions produced, so what happens here, it is denoted by lambda m, which is known as molar conductance, K into V. So then what do you mean by K into V? 1 by V, we call it as what here? Concentration. Okay, so automatically where K is known as this one, lambda m indicates what here? Molar conductance. This is about molar conductance. Then what is the molar conductance for different electrolytes of conductivity of solution? So here the molar conductance is known as the conductance of volume of solution